3-0 over Tahoma. So now let's take a look at the rosters. Starting with Wenatchee, we have Ava Jo Berry, the Big Nine Player of the Year, Brevin Linstra, Journey Jelsing, Janissa Hepton, Kira Jamergen, Emmy Tucker, Bree Sackman, Jess Irvin, Sasha Danridge, Riley Jones, Claire Demergen, Nikki Reed, Sienna Snell, and Marin Stuber. Head coach for the Panthers is Jordan McGregor. And now taking a look at the North Creek Jaguars, their roster. We have Alina Kim, Sarah Mall, Elisa Haikala, Sydney Naldrit, Reagan Fleming, Mariah Young, Madeline Sorella, Quincy Moran, Kiana Miles, Jocelyn Greaser, Simone Greaser, Anna Hachikadunich, and Paige Geller. Head coach for the Jaguars is Octavio Medina. So these two set to get going, and the players to watch. First for the Panthers, Ava Jo Berry. She's a 5'7" junior setter, and she was the Big Nine Player of the Year.
Yeah, if you want to watch a setter run her offense, pump up her team, I mean, her body language is just fun to watch, let alone the volleyball.
And it's impressive when you have a setter, the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
That says a lot. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the player to watch, well, they're going to be looking at Quincy Moran, a 6'1" outside hitter, the KingCo Player of the Year, as well as earlier this week it was announced she was committed to Eastern Washington, so a Division I player.
Congratulations to Quincy.
And as well as Eastern Washington, sounds like they're getting a good one as we are underway.
It was the Jaguars serving first, but it's Wenatchee who draws first blood.
Yeah, Wenatchee getting on the board. Back to serve for the Panthers. Well, speak of the devil, Ava Jo Berry. And a set to the outside. That one going just far. The hit from Madeline Sorella. And she's headed to Cal Poly. So there's multiple Division I players on the court. And Madeline Sorella, a 6'1" senior, going to my neck of the woods, my hometown in San Luis Obispo, Central Coast, California. So 2-0 Wenatchee here in set number one. Sorella, this time she takes a little bit off of it. The libero is there, back set, and that will do the job. Ava Jo Berry setting Sasha Jandridge, and it's all Wenatchee.
And Sasha today has been unbelievable. If you watch her hit that ball, like coming at you, her face is just all get out of the way. So they're going to have to find an answer for that. Slow it down with a block, something.
So Dandridge, first team selection in the Big Nine. And there we go, getting on the board. It's North Creek as Sorella swinging away that time. She didn't miss that time.
I think that might be one of the fun front row battles to watch here between these two just aggressive, strong hitters.
So Sorella headed to Cal Poly next year, but this year, well, she's looking for that state title. A hit, and Sorella with the dig. Now to the outside, down the line, that's a kill for Quincy Moran. Quincy Moran, she's headed to Eastern, 6'1" senior, and we just got to look at her bringing the Jaguars within one.
And speaking of that 6'1", it's probably worth mentioning that the Jaguars all the way around a little taller than Wenatchee. Not that Wenatchee doesn't have hops, but the height matters when you're playing a net game.
Yeah, we'll see how that comes into play later. And the miss hit, as it's an easy point for Wenatchee, and they say, we'll take it.
Yeah, anytime you can score because the other team makes a mistake, you kind of get a deep breath, you get the point, and you get a little bit of momentum.
So this is the 18th trip to the state tournament in program history for the Panthers. And they have the lead 4-2 here in set number one. To the backside.
Set her out for Wenatchee.
Sorella with the up, and then that one into the net by Moran, and Wenatchee goes up by 3.
And they're sending a freshman back to serve.
Sienna Nell to the outside. Moran, the future Eag, putting that one away. That hit down the line is so dangerous.
Yeah, she has a fast arm swing. It's going to be hard for the defense to line up on her shoulder because you don't have time.
That brings the 2022 district champs within 2 from the middle. The Jaguars able to reel it in. Free ball over by Miles. Another hard hit, Sorella with the dig. That one close to the net, but talked about that height. Jaguars put it back over. Moran into the block and finding center court. The Jaguars now within 1.
With hitters this strong, you've got to get your block up, but then sometimes the block ricochets the ball in a direction the defenders can't quite track.
And how about those fans? A great look at them. And shout out the production tonight, helped by the students at West Valley High School. So great camera work as Wenatchee. I know it's your Big 9 foe, but they're rolling right now, 6-4 with the roll shot.
Here's the deal. If you're an East Side girl, you got to cheer for the East Side girls, right? So West Valley does not like losing to Wenatchee, but we can sure be proud of them for making it this far and representing.
Makes the whole Big 9 look good. To the outside, Moran took a little bit off of it, dropping it down within the 10-foot line as North Creek out of Bothell, Washington within 1.
North Creek has plenty of weapons at the net, and then each of those hitters seems to have a couple of shots they're really comfortable with. Wenatchee is going to have to play some real smart defense.
Simone Greaser headed to Wichita next year with the serve, and that's a serve that ended up by the net, and then the height of Jaguars, they did the rest. So tied at 6, and Simone Greaser, future Wichita player with the serve. Nice hard serve, back set, and cross-court kill registered by Sasha Dandridge.
And don't think just because she's rotating back to serve, it's over. They set her out of the back row almost as often as they set her in the front row. So no break for the North Creek defense here. Just a little different angle from the ball.
And Dandridge, a 5'9" senior, she's headed to Central Washington next year, Division II, staying local. And wow, from the outside down the line, it's Jocelyn Greaser. So we have Simone Greaser and Jocelyn Greaser, a junior, both of them playing big roles for this North Creek team as we are all tied up at 7.
Makes you wonder if the sisters play, summer volleyball at family reunions.
All volleyball and hitting the center court. Wenatchee retakes the lead.
And Ava Jo Berry usually does jump set when she gets a good pass. So when she jumps like that, you kind of get used to waiting for her to set the ball, making her dump on 2 all that much more effective. So North Creek really needs to be aware of when Ava Jo Berry rotates into the front row just like that.
Karen Demergen with the serve, the touch, and North Creek siding out as Sorella hitting that back corner as well as getting the touch. So double whammy. Back to serve, libero for the Jaguars. It's Sydney Naldred. Naldred, a 5'6" senior. And to the outside, perfect set and perfect shot. Wenatchee, it's so fun to watch all the power on both of these teams.
I was just going to say, it's almost too bad we don't have a microphone down on the court, because if you could hear the way this ball sounds when it is hit into the block like that or even bouncing off the ground, the power is truly intimidating.
Yeah, next year,
Boom.
for anybody listening, get a microphone down there as well as I'd love to be down on the court. So we'll put that on our wish list.
Sounds good.
As the wish list for the Wenatchee faithful said, get a kill, and they delivered. Back to serve now for the Panthers. It's Emmy Tucker. She was a second team all Big Nine player at libero, and the serve into the net. So easy points for North Creek. And back to serve for the Jaguars, it's Kiana Miles. Oh, a one, and that is good for 1 point. That was Maren Stuber, a 5'9" junior. And those low sets, just perfect timing. They don't see it coming.
Yeah. The chemistry on Wenatchee's team the last couple of days, all the way around, from the passing to the setting to the hitting, has just really been so fluid, and you saw it in that play.
Jo Berry with the serve, and from the outside, they drop it center court.
After you've been swinging away a little off speed like that, really works well when the defense is digging in and can't take that step forward.
Yeah, a team that is going to find a lot of success is the one that changes it up, keep you on your toes or on your heels in some cases, as a shot from the middle by the future Wildcat, Sasha Dandridge. So Dandridge with that shot puts Wenatchee up 2. Back to serve, it's Claire Demergen, just a freshman. Nice low serve down the pipe, hit from the back row by Sorella. And Sorella from the back row, she can hit it from anywhere.
Yeah, that is a very versatile player right there. It might look like it's an emergency play, and all of a sudden she's elevating out of the back row as if you set that play up on purpose.
I know, that play was set up by a hard serve that you didn't get the good first pass. And they're going to say that that ball was in. The Wenatchee bench not very happy about that one because it did land right in front of the bench.
Yeah, it was close, but we have 4 line judges working this championship game, and honestly, they have the best angle of every line in the gym. So,
you know what? I feel like my coach always said, sell it, and sometimes if they didn't see it, it will go your way. So, you know what? Maybe a little bit of theatrics, but no theatrics needed, as Maren Stuber found the court as very evenly matched game. Both of these teams just pounding away at one another.
Yeah, I would agree. This is a muscle volleyball match, not a finesse volleyball match. Not to say that they're not playing really nice volleyball, but it is about the power hitting and the power blocking right now.
The kill by Stuber, first team for the Big Nine, putting Wenatchee up 1 and up 2 with the kill from the outside.
Both of these teams come in with quite a bit of swagger. When they're celebrating, their whole bench gets up and gets involved, building on that energy. It's fun to watch.
Stuber back to serve. Sorella then from the middle. It looks like some contact with Ned. No call on that. And they're going to go to the middle. Again, different person as Moran. It's fun to watch the rotation. Moran this time on the outside, and Wenatchee with the combined block. Sasha Dandridge getting that one.
Wow. I could feel her flexing from up here as that ball probably got to the ground faster than the hitter's feet did. So much power, but redirected perfectly by the Wenatchee block.
So Dandridge with the block. Moran again. That time, though, she puts it away. And it's so fun to watch the best teams in this with those players. When you get stuffed, you know, some players will be a little bit more conservative. They'll tip it, and players like Moran, Division I player, says, give me the ball. I'm going to get it right this time.
Exactly.
And a block coming. And then again from the middle, a double block. That is Paige Geller.
You are not going to see that very often, but Ava Jo Berry's over on 2 was not strategic enough, and so she basically set a 1 to the North Creek Jaguar front line, who said, thank you, and smashed it back down on the Panthers side of the court.
And Geller, just a sophomore. And that one hit by Dandridge, going across the net and out of bounds, as that's a point for Wenatchee. And Dandridge, safe to say she's a first team, all Big Nine player as well.
Absolutely.
Forgot to mention that one, but that's Jocelyn Greaser off the block, out the back, and a good side out. Now North Creek down by 3. Now they're within 1.
I think 3 is the biggest spread we've had in this first game, right? I mean, this has really been some quality volleyball. Most points being scored from power, not from mistakes by the other team. So fun to watch them do their thing.
From the outside, that one off the block, and then off the arms of Sorella and out. And speaking of power, you're absolutely right. These two teams bring a lot, and that puts Wenatchee up 2. So I remember thinking when Wenatchee was up 3, I'm like, oh, they're starting to pull away. And then I look, and it's North Creek within 1. It's scary how these teams know how to score. Service, Moran with the pass on the backside. Dandridge from the back row, and that one into the net. And you mentioned not too many of them are on airs, and that one was more so the net than the block.
Yes, I would agree.
But regardless, that was a good read by North Creek, getting a double block for a hit in the back row.
Absolutely, and you've got to get a double block up against hitters, actually on both sides of the court tonight.
Naldrit with the pass, and they are saying that there's a net violation. It dropped on the Jaguars side as well as the net violation, so either way, it equals a point for Wenatchee. Libero, Emmy Tucker back to serve. Sorella with the tip. Dandridge is there. Jo Berry setting the middle, and that one into the net. Called for 4 hits. So 18-17 after the swing into the net, and back to serve, it's Kiana Miles. Jo Berry set to the outside. That one splitting the block. A great kill from the outside, even through the block. That came from Bree Sackman, a second team Big Nine player, 5'8" senior outside hitter. Jo Berry back to serve. Needing help on the set and off. It was a hard angle, and Sorella hitting it into the net, but not really set up for success.
No, that was definitely out of system for the North Creek Jaguars.
And so that it puts Wenatchee up 3. And let's take a look at the keys to the game. So coming into this game, Wenatchee, for them, they need to use home court advantage. They're not that far from home. And North Creek, their fans are loud, but Wenatchee has the bigger fan base. So you know what? See this as a home court advantage, as well as make the Jaguars earn their points. They played 5 sets in the semifinals. They are tired, so if they constantly pound them, I feel like with that 5 sets, they might be able to wear them down a little bit.
Yeah, I think if any team is going to show some of that mental or physical just drain, that's where you're going to see it.
Exactly. And for North Creek, don't be content. You beat the #1 team in the state in 5 sets, elated. But at some point in the locker room, they had to say, great, we won. Now look forward to the state championship game, as well as senior leadership. North Creek has a lot of seniors. Their last time suiting up as a Jaguar. So 8 seniors on North Creek as there's an ace. Wenatchee refusing, and very good from the service line so far.
Yes, they have been. And I mean, part of calling that timeout is to hope to ice the server, and then you come back on the court and get aced. That is not what your timeout is designed to do. So credit to Wenatchee for mental toughness.
As well as Ava Jo Berry. There's a reason why she was the league MVP. And refusing to give up, Sorella on the overpass with the kill.
Yeah, she pretty much had a clear net and court in front of her, and it's so easy to like overthink that and end up in the net or hit that out of bounds. But perfect power and control by the Division I bound senior.
And speak of it, she, with the ace, Madden Sorella headed to Cal Poly next year. As well as Sorella and Anna Hachikadunic are so good in the front row where they got the block and then knowing which way to go it. And that is another ace for Sorella, as North Creek, they took the timeout, and now they find themselves within one.
So maybe that coach was smarter than I gave him credit for coming out of that timeout. And here's where you're talking about that senior leadership. Her team's back against the wall a little bit here as Wenatchee was starting to get some space, and she just served monstrously, getting her team back within one, keeping them in touch in this first game.
And a monster hit, Sasha Dandridge. She gets up, only 5'9".
Again, I know you would never know that from watching the angle she hits the ball.
It's amazing, some of these players that we've seen throughout the tournament, because there's a lot of size. I mean, we see players 6'5" is the tallest that we've seen, and it's not uncommon to see more than one player over 6 foot, and serving still on Wenatchee's side as the ace puts them at 23-20.
And how about that? You're a freshman serving for your team in the first game of the state finals.
And Claire Demergen got a little too aggressive with that one. You know, you feel good. You've had one ace you want to. You try to give them something tough and then serve into the net. So 23-21. And Hachi Kadunic with the serve. Dandridge from the middle, out of bounds. Is there a touch? There is not. And now it's a 1-point game.
Well, the fans are definitely getting their money's worth. This is so fun. 22 serving 23.
So Anna Hachikadunic with the serve and putting it over on the set, but Geller was there. Now to Moran, and she is stuffed.
That's a couple of times that Wenatchee has really got the timing right, but most of the time they set Moran in the very next set, and she's got a kill. So Wenatchee has got to really stay focused. They can't think, oh, we've got that figured out.
It is set point for the Panthers. Back to Moran. This time she goes for the tip. With set point, you don't want to take any what's the word I'm thinking of? Any chances. There we go. It's been a long day.
It has been. And honestly, yeah, you've got to play smart, but you've got to stay aggressive. In a match like this, backing off too much is just a recipe for losing. So credit to her for making the smart play on the ball and keeping that rally alive so her team ultimately could win.
To the middle, a tip. Moran, the outside, off the wall. Now to the outside, off the other wall. This time it's not coming back as we have free volleyball here in set number 1. Tied at 24, must win by 2.
And that gets both sets of fans up on their feet now, cheering and dancing, trying to will their team to take this game 1.
A great shot of the fans, and it's just out. So that will be back to set point, 25-24. So must win by 2. And, well, the Panthers, they're going to, or the Jaguars are going to take a timeout. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back as set 1 comes to a close. You're watching the 4A State Championship on NFHS.
What's really special about these debit cards are the fact that they do have rewards tied to them. Although you personally are not reaping the benefit from that, your community is, and they support our healthcare heroes, and especially during this time where our frontline workers have had to be out there and people are getting sick. Every time you purchase something with that card, you're giving funds back to those organizations.
On behalf of Yakima Valley Memorial, we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
(25-24) set point for the Panthers. Set one of the 4A state championship. Dandridge with the serve to the Moran on the backside. Joe Barry to the outside, and the block by the Jaguars using the height as this game is going to continue. Tied at 25, must win by 2. Moran now back to set. Or back to serve. They've been setting to her a lot, but now back to serve.
She has an impact all the way around on the court for sure. Ooh, an overfeed.
Yeah, the overpass, but Dandridge is there. Now to the outside, a roll shot trying to get the back, but Moran is there. Now Sorella, great up by Dandridge. Tip, the overpass, fight at the net, and Sorella punching it over, keeping this one alive. Joe Barry throwing it over. Little Barrow, the overpass. Wow, some punishment laid by Jess McIrvin.
Well, that was just some fun volleyball. Showed some real athleticism. The North Creek players are still complaining that Wenatchee was in the net, but they're not getting much support from the officials as Wenatchee back to serve for game point again.
Yeah, set point. To the outside, Sorella down the line. Demergen is there, roll shot by Dandridge, and now Sorella.
Back to what you were saying. Hard to take the big swing when it's all on the line.
and there it is. They took the big swing. And Bree Sackman put set number 1 in the sack. 27-25. What a way to start this 4A championship.
We got to play every single point possible in that match. So
and more.
If you needed a stretch break, now's the time to go get it, fans who are at home, because I don't think this next one's going to be much different. So thank you for joining us tonight to watch the 4A state championship between these teams who both clearly believe it's meant to be theirs.
We'll see. Set 1 already over, belonging to the Panthers. Set 2 coming up right here. You're watching the 4A state championship on the Eli and NFHS Sports Network.
Nationally known and locally owned, Southwest Washington is home to 6 locally owned Napa stores, providing you with the best quality parts and services you need. With fast access to an inventory of over 400,000 parts, with ASE certified parts specialists ready to help, it's no wonder so many do-it-yourselfers count on Napa Auto Parts. Visit Wilson's Napa Auto Parts in Centralia, Chehalis, Rochester, Tenino, Castle Rock, and the heavy-duty and wholesale location on State Avenue in Chehalis, or go to wilsonnapa.com.
OB Credit Union is your local credit union throughout the South Sound area. At OB Credit Union, you can open a personal savings account or checking account and plan for your financial future. David Littleton is a financial advisor, and he's waiting to hear from you today. Dave can help plan for your future and put in safeguards for when times get tough, while taking advantage of high-profit time periods. OB Credit Union is a longtime community member and supporter of local students. Stop in today at OB Credit Union in Lacey, Tumwater, and Tenino.
Pacific Mobile Structures are big supporters of kids and athletics. If you are in need of temporary office space on a work site or for overflow space, or if your building is in need of major renovation, Pacific Mobile Structures can keep your company at work. Pacific Mobile Structures offers everything from traditional modular classroom space to complete multi-purpose college campus buildings, including Sage classrooms, which combine the latest in healthy learning environments with the best in green building practices. Pacific Mobile Structures can also offer you permanent space for a fraction of the cost to build your own. Go online to check out Pacific Mobile Structures.
Back at the Yakima Valley Sundome as the Wenatchee Panthers and North Creek Jaguars taking the floor. Set 1 belonging to the Panthers, 27-25 to take a 1-0 set lead as set 2 about to get underway. Wenatchee all high-fiving and chest bumping, just full of energy, the Panthers are. And the Panthers will have the serve. Jaguars on serve receive. Joe Barry with the serve. Sorella with the pass. To the outside, Sorella with the hit. Great dig by Tucker. And that one with the touch belongs to Wenatchee. They're dancing. Just look at all the energy emoting from Wenatchee.
I was going to say, Wenatchee just really looks like they're feeling it, celebrating every little moment, really in the moment, I would say, especially as seniors. We've seen that energy from the North Creek Jaguars, but it's not there right now.
Joe Barry with the serve. Sorella to the outside and catching that back corner. And it's all business for North Creek, and it was like that earlier as well, where they're not really the rah-rah. The rah-rah is definitely coming from the student section.
I would agree. It's kind of interesting how every team is just kind of a little different in the way they hype themselves up and also stay focused, but the crowd's certainly having fun in here tonight as they're getting to watch their girls just swing away.
And a swing from the outside. That one is out of bounds. Marin Stuber just missing that back corner as Kiana Miles back to serve. Miles, one of the 8 seniors for North Creek. Joe Barry going back to the outside, and Stuber, last time she didn't get it, back to her swinging away. She hit center court. So tied at 2 now. Back to serve for the Panthers. Claire Demergen. Demergen, just a freshman. To Demergen, so I should say Claire Demergen. Sorella from the outside beats the wall to the outside, and it lands center court. And Sorella, a 6'1" senior, headed to Cal Poly next year.
She has great footwork in transition, getting back for her full approach to take advantage of that height on every swing.
To the outside, roll shot. Couple players hit. Moran, Joe Barry getting that off. And how about that set? Joe Barry, with her full momentum going back, gets the set to the outside, but I think she stepped over the line in the process. I saw it, but if they didn't see it, then it didn't happen.
Right. No, that was still a very athletic move.
But with 6 line judges, great to see what's going on. And Simone Greaser putting some punishment on that one as it's a 3-point lead for North Creek.
Yeah, you're going to get punished if you're not passing well in this match. Every one of those hitters is thrilled to jump up there and take a swing at an overfeed.
And Marin Stuber from the backside hitting that back corner. A great textbook shot as Wenatchee up by 1 set, but down by 2 points here in set number 2. And now Stuber with the serve. Miles with the pass. Morin on the outside, and Moran knocking that one home.
That set was just a little bit on the inside, and the Wenatchee block did not adjust to that and just left her plenty of space, and she took advantage of that.
Anna Hatchi-Kadunic now with the serve. Nice hard low serve. Dandridge aiming for that back line and finding perfectly the space.
Again, as high as she's elevating to hit that ball at that angle, you would not know she is the shorter hitter up there against that block.
Sasha Dandridge headed to Central Washington. Joe Barry to the middle and going through the block for the kill. It's comeback time for the Panthers, as now they're within one.
And for the Panthers, that is a sophomore middle hitter. That was Riley Jones making her presence known.
And Jones is a second team All Big Nine, but just a sophomore. Moran taking some speed off as everybody on their heels getting ready for the windup, and she drops it about 5 feet in.
Yeah, absolutely. Wenatchee just all looked at each other like, oops.
Nobody's hitting the deck.
Nobody decided to cover tip, and there it is.
So Moran, not only can she hit it hard, but also smart. The block coming in.
That was number 9. She attacked the ball in front of the 10-foot line, so she's being called for a back row attack.
Yeah, the 10-foot line meant for front row players only. Greaser with the serve. Joe Barry going to the outside. Libero with the up. That one set close to the net. They're going to put it through. And again, attacking in front. A little bit of hectic play on the Jaguar side, and all they were thinking of is let's get it over, not where am I on the court.
Yeah, I think honestly the setter was hoping she could get up there and bring it back to her hitter, but it had too much momentum, so she touched it as it went over the net, and that counts as a back row attack.
And the ace ensuing for the Panthers, Kira Demergen. And Demergen's a 5'8" junior, and she's playing volleyball at Boise State, but beach volleyball.
Oh my goodness, how fun is that?
Just a junior, but already committed to Boise for beach volleyball. She has the serve, and we'll see if she keep it. Dandridge swinging away. That one's out the back. So a side out as Quincy Moran now back to serve. Jaguars up by 2, but down one set here in set 2. Moran, low dropping, backside, that one blocked. Joe Barry puts it over. Set to the middle, and Sorella is there.
Yes, 2 North Creek hitters coming in at the same speed right there, and it really froze the Wenatchee block. And so the hitter got a one-on-one situation, and that just leaves you a lot of angles, and she hit one of them perfectly.
Yeah, both Madden Sorella and Paige Geller coming in, and even for me, I couldn't see the depth on it. And some confusion on Wenatchee. Which side do you go to, or who's going to go to it? Nobody goes for it. And North Creek with the momentum. Panthers call the timeout. It's 11-7 here in set number 2 of the 4A State Volleyball Championship.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Back at the Yakima Valley Sundome, it's set 2. Wenatchee up 1 set to none, but North Creek momentum on their side, up 4, causing a Wenatchee timeout. And they came into this set with so much energy, and now we're wondering, where is it?
Yeah, you wonder if all that hype at the beginning of the game is them kind of compensating for the fact that they're feeling tired. And honestly, 4 points is really a large lead so far in this match.
Yeah, we were talking about how much of a lead 3 points is, and coming out of the timeout, a swing and out. That's exactly what you want to see, trying to change the momentum.
Wenatchee is talking at the net about their plans on the next good pass, which they hope is the next pass.
Yeah, Sackman getting the last one, and this time both combined efforts of Sackman and Stuber off their block, out of bounds. Another point as North Creek serving. Libero Sydney Naldrit. To the outside, Sackman. Sorella, that one close to the net. The dig is there. Joe Barry to the outside. She goes to Sackman again. Now to the middle. A whistle, and stepping over the line was Wenatchee. So even if they did reel that in, a dead ball, and it is North Creek by 5.
North Creek is starting to build themselves some space here in game 2.
To the middle. Heat taken off from the block. Sorella on the outside and blocked right back. But that one, the block was not sealed. Lands on Wenatchee's side, and another point for North Creek.
This evenly matched. Every little technique point matters, and sealing the net is definitely one of them on a block.
Sackman, cross court. That one lands back on Wenatchee's side. Dandridge from the backside. Moran with the dig. And a double hit. The set did not come off clean. A good call, a good view by the head line judge or the head referee, and a very consistent call this whole tournament.
I would agree. They've called that tight. And, you know, a 6-foot-tall setter can get up and do a lot of work at the net, but when it's that tight, it really is going to hit one of your hands first, and it's a double hit at that point.
The hit as Joe Barry and the libero, Emmy Tucker, go flying. Now a 6-point lead.
We should probably mention, if you've been watching, that in this championship game, they are letting the players play into the gray area of the sport court. So in some ways, the court is a little bit bigger before they're in that dangerous out-of-bounds area.
Now to the outside, down the line, and that one called out of bounds, a close call.
Yeah, the official on the opposite side of that play thought it was in initially, but trusting the line judge to have a better angle.
We're so far up, I couldn't say either way. All I can say is it was close. And Wenatchee able to side out off the service error.
And those of you who played volleyball say, or know that we say the ball knows. So maybe that was the wrong call. Either way, Wenatchee gets a chance here to see if they can close this 6-point gap.
So Wenatchee up 1 set, down 6. Service from Riley Jones. Back row attack, Moran. Joe Barry is there. From the outside, Demergen. Sorella, that one flying back. It lands in the Jaguars' court. Now to the middle. And from the middle, it's Simone Greaser.
Yeah, she came up big. That was a fun rally. But Wenatchee just got a little bit almost twisted, it seemed like, on their defense and couldn't quite get their arms where they needed them as they were spinning around wondering where that attack was coming from.
Yeah, Simone Greaser headed to Wichita next year. Now on the opposite side, Sorella, that one close to the net. The fight of the net belongs to Wenatchee. And Maren Stuber wins the fight at the net as Wenatchee able to side out, still down 6.
Yeah, the 5'9" middle blocker really got up there again with the right technique, staying out of the net and making a play for her team, who's trying to keep it close here in the Sun Dome.
And Maren Stuber in the back row, serving. Miles with the pass. And that one hit far by Quincy Moran. And a good decision by the Panthers. You could tell they pulled back. Just great vision to know that's out. It wasn't out by much.
No, it was not. And you've got to know where you start on defense to know if that ball past you is going to be out of bounds. A lot of trust in all of their practice time there.
Moran hit it from the 10-foot line. Dandridge, Sorella with the dig. And from the middle, Riley Jones says, put that back on your side, as Wenatchee, they're trying to make a comeback here in set 2.
Yeah, couple of points kind of makes them feel like they're bringing it back. They're getting a little momentum on their side, and a couple of their servers really use a lot of court for their jump serve approach and are probably loving not being tied to that small space anymore.
Another block, and a net violation by Wenatchee. It's hard to see that. They've been having such great play from the middle blocker as well as from the wall. So 18-13 here in set number 2. Service by Hatchie Kadunich. Joe Barry setting the outside. Roll shot. That one dug and put back over by Miles Dandridge. Running into the wall. Geller gets it up and a hit on the set. That's Simone Greaser.
She just elevated that and took it with her left hand as she was spinning around. I don't think anybody expected that on the Wenatchee side of the net.
I saw her do that in the game against Kamayakan. It's going to be a timeout by Wenatchee as the Panthers down 6. We'll keep it right here. And North Creek, they just have so much power, and it was when it was a close game with Kamayakan, and you could just visibly see them be like, are you kidding me? Having that hard of a hit on the set, just being 6 foot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't teach size, but you can teach how to get your body around and trace it over the net. That's such a dangerous play.
Yeah, using that size effectively. And as she hasn't really even tried to, I don't think, dump yet against Wenatchee. Like, no one was even thinking that was coming on 2, and then it came with so much power on 2. So, again, back to that power game that both teams are playing. And right now, North Creek is, quite frankly, playing it better.
And the score shows that as Wenatchee up a set, but right now, North Creek, they came into this, and it looked like Wenatchee had all of the energy. And North Creek just eye on the prize. Let's take care of business, and they're taking care of business. So far in set 2, teams back to the court. Wenatchee coming out of the timeout. Hatchie Kadunich with the serve. Joe Barry setting the outside, a roll shot. Dig by Moran. And Moran with the backcourt kill. Perfect placement.
Yes, it was. That's a ball when Wenatchee thinks they should be able to handle. And when they can't, it really kind of rattles their confidence, I think. They have not been passing to the standard they're used to, and it's making their setter and their hitters tired.
And I said Quincy Moran was back row. She is in the front row, but she hit it beyond
from
the 10.
back. Yes,
yeah,
she
from
did.
the back. Geller getting it over. Dandridge on the backside, off the block and out of bounds. Wenatchee not giving up here in set number 2.
We talked about the difference that seniors can make, and that's Wenatchee seniors saying, I'm not done playing volleyball. If I have a chance, I'm going to get the ball back and a point for my teammates.
Yeah, Sasa Dandridge playing at Central next year, but not ready to be a Wildcat, still a Panther. Moran from the outside. Cross-court kill. What a great angle she got on that one.
Yeah, I'm wondering if during the timeout they talked about that open spot in Wenatchee's defense or if she just saw that in the moment. But, yeah, perfectly placed. Great timing as well.
So just a couple days ago, announced Quincy Moran was going to be an Eagle at Eastern Washington next year. And the serve by Greaser out of bounds. It's 15, 21, 21, 15. Push 4, says head coach Octavio Medina for North Creek. Service into the net by Wenatchee. A tough time to have a serving error.
Yeah, and that's that rotation where the North Creek setter is coming out of the back corner. And it's so nice to not get stuck in that rotation, and they get out of it without even having to run a play from that rotation.
Quincy Moran with the serve, backside off the wall. Libero is there. Greaser to Sorella. Sorella pushing it to the far side. Joe Barry going to the middle, trying to hit that backcourt. And Greaser and Moran both there, neither getting the ball.
Yeah. That's that famous don't reach behind you, trust your teammate is there. And her teammate was there, but she had already dove to the ground, so she couldn't get up and get to where that ball ended up landing. But great coverage by North Creek, in all fairness.
And great vision by Wenatchee. The overpass puts it back on the Panther side from the middle. Greaser, they're trying to recover it. Free ball over. And dumping it over, Joe Barry. Moran with the dig. And that one trying to do a free ball. Trying to put a little spin on that one, but it hit the antenna. Dead ball. And Wenatchee, they're not done here in set number 2. 22-17. Panthers now down 5, but up 1 set to none.
Another out-of-system play for North Creek.
Yeah, it was Wenatchee that was having trouble with the passing, and it's funny where it's like, oh, this team has energy, now that team has energy. It's almost like they're passing these back and forth. So tables have turned now. Wenatchee within 4. Service from the libero. Sorella on the outside off the top of the wall. And trying to do an off-speed hit, Bree Sackman sends it into the net. It's 23-18. Sydney Naldred back to serve. And serves it to the opposing libero. Naldred is there and into the wall. And that one peeled off the floor by Wenatchee. Now Sorella off the wall, dug, and that one, it's not coming back. It's set point for North Creek.
Great hustle defense by the Panthers, but there's just too much coming at them from the North Creek hitters right now. By the time you recover from one great save, you have to make another one, and sooner or later you end up behind.
So Wenatchee behind. Naldred on the serve for set point. Joe Barry, they'll have to deal with a free ball over. Greaser, back set to Sorella in the middle. And that is a kill as 2 line judges say that is in as Sorella gets set point as North Creek wins set number 2 by a score of 25-18. Now 1 set apiece here in the 4A state championship.
And that definitely gets the North Creek crowd up and excited. Again, like the North Creek players seem a little more serious, like they know that was just one game. They got more work to do, but the crowd is going crazy.
Let's get a quick shot of that crowd. So we just showed you the crowd. I didn't see that. And Signs and North Creek, well, they took set number 2, 25-18. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, action from set number 3. You're watching the 2023 WIAA 4A State Volleyball Championship.
Thorbeck's Wellness Centers are the place to go for good health. At the 3 Thorbeck's locations in Centralia, Chehalis, and South Bend, there are options for everyone, and it's all for one low-price monthly membership. Get the basics with free weights and cardio, or take advantage of specific programs like yoga and group fitness classes, all for the same membership price. As a member, you'll have access to all 3 facilities where you'll find a swimming pool, basketball court, tennis courts, multi-use turf area, and more. For more information, go to Thorbex.com.
Hey sports fans, are you ready to make a play for your dream home? With the hometown team by your side, you'll be the MVP of the home buying experience.
We put you in the best position to win. With varsity level experience and excellent client care, you can rest assured knowing that we will coach you to the finish line.
Whatever the case, your needs are as unique as the sports you love. We have you covered with a variety of options to fit your needs.
So don't let the competition leave you in the dust. Get the home court advantage today and contact your hometown team.
Spin Tees Screen Print and Graphics in Olympia gives you the very best printing and embroidery, perfect for teams, schools, companies, or special events. Get excellent quality, custom designs, quick turnaround, and low pricing. Count on Spin Tees for quality brands like Port Authority, Sport Tech, and District Threads. For easy ordering and results you'll love, go to spinteeprints.com or check them out on Facebook.
It's John from the all-new Interstate Honda of Chehalis. Our grand opening sales event is happening now. Stop by and see our state-of-the-art facility right off the I-5. Experience our no-pressure sales culture, family atmosphere, and upfront best pricing. We know you'll never buy a Honda anywhere else. The factory's given us additional supply of hard-to-find Hondas, including the redesigned CR-V Hybrid and Accord Hybrid. At Interstate Honda, we don't sell cars, we help people buy them.
Back at the Yakima Valley Sundome, set 3 about to get underway as it's tied at 1 set apiece. So Wenatchee taking set 1, 27-25, and then North Creek storming back in set number 2, 25-18. And set number 3, like I said, about to get underway, and North Creek will be serving. Wenatchee on serve receive. And last one, it was really a set of momentum. Wenatchee came out hot, and then it was North Creek for the rest of it. But North Creek getting the ace to start this one.
Yeah, that's a good omen for them and maybe spells trouble for Wenatchee. We'll see if they can shake that off.
Kiana Miles, the senior, getting the ace in her first set, and then swinging from the outside. Bree Sackman off the block, out of bounds. We're tied at 1. So Sackman, second team Big 9 player. Joe Barry back to serve. Sorella from the outside getting above the wall. Joe Barry backside. Dandridge with the tip. The libero is there, the overpass. Sackman. And then the hit from the middle by Anna Hatchie-Kondunich, taking the lead as set 3 getting started.
Yeah, the 5'11" middle blocker really playing taller than she is in moments like that where she just gets up above the Wenatchee block.
And her family, part of the crowd. Maybe not as rowdy as the student section, but I'm sure cheering on that one. Block by Hatchie-Kondunich. It's back on the Panthers. They'll put it on the Jaguars side. Moran from the outside. Demergen was there. Dandridge from the backside, and she has stuffed. That was Quincy Moran leading the charge. It's 3-1 Jaguars.
That might be the most emotion we've seen from the North Creek players yet. That sounded good. That felt good, and that means we are controlling the net right now.
Jaguars creating some energy for themselves. To the outside. That one's not coming back. Warren Stuber with the kill from the outside.
And that's the beauty of having that many weapons. The middle blocker a little late getting to the outside there because she was still thinking about what if I got to go do that stuff block again on the backside of the setter, creating just a little bit of room there.
The freshman, Claire Demergen, with the serve. Miles with the pass. Moran from the outside, hitting that back corner, cross court, textbook hit.
Indeed. And again, that outside set to her is a little bit inside, and the Wenatchee block is setting up on the line, trusting in their defense to be able to dig that hard angle, but it just comes so fast, they're not getting a hand on it.
Hatchie-Kondunich with the serve. Joe Barry setting the middle, a backside set, and a perfect set and a perfect hit coming from Sasha Dendridge.
And that is why the middle blocker is respecting having to block on the backside. That is just so much power from the senior.
And it was hit directly at North Creek, but it's hit in that I don't want to get hit in the face level where you have to, choose your face over getting the point.
Protect yourself rather than play the ball.
The tip from Moran, middle tip coming from Wenatchee. Violation at the net by the Jaguars. Most of those in the last set coming from the Panthers.
Yeah, again, kind of just the tired mental drain that these teams have. It's interesting to watch the North Creek libero. She's playing really short, almost behind the block to pick up the junk and the tips. There's just not a hole behind the block when Wenatchee is trying to chip or tip there.
And Moran set off the net and not hitting cross court, but hitting straight down. It seemed almost like cheating over was the libero, Naldrit, or rather the libero for the Panthers, Tucker, and then she split it anyways. Joe Barry, backside set to Dandridge, and that one hitting the antenna. So out of bounds, assist from the antenna for North Creek. Greaser back to serve. Joe Barry going to the outside, and that is a kill going off the block and out of bounds by Kiera Demergen. Demergen, a first-team selection and a 5A junior heading to Boise State for beach volleyball. She has a couple of years. It's a one-point game from the outside swinging away. That was Greaser. Sorella with the pass. Greaser going to the other Greaser in the block. Great ups by Geller. Greaser again, this time she'll tip it. Dandridge is there and a dump from Barry. And able to salvage it is the Jaguars. Panthers from the outside off the block. And Moran leading the block as North Creek puts another tick on the board, up 2.
Yeah, and as you watch the Wenatchee players who went to the ground and hit her coverage get up that slow, you just start to wonder how much they left in the tank for this battle if it's going to be this close in every game.
And that was one of our keys, except for the other way around.
Yep.
North Creek going 5 sets in their semifinal this morning. And the North Creek Jaguars more like the North Creek Energizer Bunnies. And how about that? Another block. That is Geller and Greaser.
Yeah, that's a second stuff block for that outside block. It'll be interesting to see what Wenatchee does to adjust to that. Are they going to set away from that block, or are they going to start chipping over the top of it? Because they just can't afford to get stuff blocked that many times in a game where they need to keep it under a 5-point spread.
Quincy Moran with the serve, hit off the line at the 10-foot line. Greaser to Sorella. Sorella, and that one is out of bounds. One line judge saying in, one saying out. And the main judge saw that it was out of bounds, so Wenatchee does walk away with the point. And that's something you mentioned earlier. Speaking of the blocking, North Creek, they are the taller team.
Absolutely.
Geller attack from the middle, slowed down by the net. To the outside, Sackman off the block and landing in bounds.
Right on the line.
Stepping over the line, though, a turn of events was North Creek. So the Panthers, what a turn of emotions.
Yeah, they need that lift right now, as it kind of feels like things aren't really going their way. So we'll see if this keeps them.
Yeah, we say that, but it's a one-point game.
True.
It feels, but you're right. It feels like the momentum is rolling for North Creek. Greaser on the backside. Now from the middle. There we go. Talking about momentum, there's some coming from Riley Jones, the 5'11 sophomore.
And even just looking in the stands, most of the Wenatchee crowd is on their feet right now. And over on the North Creek side, it is just the very loyal 2 rows of students, and all the parents are a little subdued. So I do think the energy has shifted again. You were talking about how it's just kind of bouncing back and forth.
Moran going to Sorella. Sorella trying to get the roll shot over, and that is out of bounds. And Wenatchee takes the lead. And the student section loving that. Yeah, Wenatchee trying to feed off that home crowd. Sorella on the outside in the block, and they're able to take it off the block. Stepping over the line, though, is Wenatchee. There's been so many of those calls.
I think he might actually be calling in the net, but just with a hand signal that looks like the under, it's kind of interesting because I don't see their feet crossing the line completely.
That one he was saying under because the net one, they touched the front of the net. And Sorella with the overpass going, and The Panthers try to get the block up, goes off of them, out of bounds. So now the Jaguars retake the lead. Like you mentioned, there are 2 rows of students, the faithful Jaguars, cheering them on as libero Sydney Naldrit serving Joe Barry a back set. And Joe Barry, textbook, to Riley Jones. Jones doing the rest.
Yes, the sophomore coming through big before she rotates out here.
And then just with that back set, I mean, there's a reason why Ava Joe Barry was the Big 9 Player of the Year. Comes off so clean, and she could go anywhere, and I don't think it gives North Creek the time to set up.
And the jump set even freezes them a little bit more because you don't know if she's attacking. Right now she's in the front row, so you have to respect that as well. But that ace serve from the Panther libero makes things interesting as Wenatchee takes a 1-point lead.
Emmy Tucker, second team Big 9 player with the ace last time. Another hard one going to the fellow libero, Sorella, roll shot. Dendridge is there, now to the outside. Sackman caught up in the block and lost in the block, and not a lost point, though, for the Panthers as they take the 2-point lead. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's their largest lead in this set.
I'm pretty sure it is. And like we were saying, a 4-point lead is a ton, so this matters as the momentum is on their side of the net for at least a few rotations.
And Sorella, she's blocked, and we're going to see stepping outside of the blue. That play is going to stop, and it's going to be a point for Wenatchee because the libero, Sydney Naldrit, went out of bounds, and that was a call made far before because the blue around, like you mentioned, talking about the play areas. The gray, obviously the court. For those that don't know volleyball that much, the gray is the court. I hope you know that. And then the blue is the play area, and is only in the state championship game that they can play beyond the blue, only in the backcourt. But once they touch the net, that is out of bounds.
Right. And with all of that confusion and frustration, it looks like the Jaguars decided to call a timeout and try and kind of pause this crazy energy. But the dancing is taking place in the Wenatchee stands right now. Hope you've got a good shot. These guys are making sure they get their money's worth. They paid to park, and they paid for 2 days of state volleyball. They're going to dance while they're here. Great cheering by the Wenatchee student section.
We don't have a DJ in this, but I feel like if you did, it would be you can dance if you want to. But it's fun to see these 2 student sections back and forth. I have my headset on, couldn't quite hear what they were saying, but now these student sections, small the North Creek student section is, but mighty they are and loud. And right now, the Jaguars need it, down 3 to the Panthers, tied 1 set apiece here in set number 3, 13-10. Service from Tucker, Moran, and then to Hachi Kondunich, but the Panthers with the stuff as they keep momentum on their side.
They're up 4, 14-10.
Tucker serving right away, no hesitation. Free ball over, will it make it over? And no, it will not. Student section, as well as some of the parents, even in the back row, getting on their feet.
But we've also got a development on the North Creek side because another one of the purple and white high schools who's been kind of watching from the side just decided North Creek was unfairly outnumbered, and so they joined the North Creek fans. We'll talk about volleyball and then get back to the student section in just a minute.
And a shot from the middle, putting another one on. Nikki Reed doing the job there. Still serving is Emmy Tucker, the junior libero, giving great serves, helping the Panthers to the 6-point lead. And that one into the net. Curse of the broadcaster.
I was going to say, and nothing kills your momentum like giving the ball back with a net serve either.
So like you mentioned, development, another team joining the North Creek student section, another purple team. There's a lot of purple teams. I believe it might be Lake Stevens, but I'm trying to remember. I recognize the hats.
Yeah, I think it's Lake Stevens, or could even be Lake Washington. They're
Oh.
also purple.
And Lake Washington playing later, but
Yes.
right now it's all eyes on the 4A, and Wenatchee is rolling here, and set number 3 up 6. Yeah, in the 3A, Lake Washington playing against Meade. So Meade beat Linwood in the semifinals. And now the Lake Washington student section joining in, where we just were talking. It's East versus West. Sorella, great dig by the libero to the outside. Sackman with the kill. And the Panthers, they're on fire.
Yeah, that was a big hit. And quite frankly, it's the same hitter against the same block where we just saw, 3 stuff blocks in the last rotation. So definitely the momentum has changed right now to the Wenatchee side as their hitters are even being successful against this North Creek block.
Sorella, backside, Dendridge off the block. That one off the hands of Sorella. And a great kill by Dandridge, a senior. But how about the play of Bree Sackman?
Yeah.
She's not a first team. She's a second team Big Nine. And it's kind of tough when you play on such a talented team. You don't always get those honors. But Sackman showing up when it counts and having the game of her life here in the state championship.
Yeah, she has really been a reliable go-to for setter Ava Jo Berry.
And Jo Berry serving.
Out of rotation on the North Creek Jaguars. That was really interesting. They slowed down the serve by stopping to tie a shoe, but as they stood up from tying that shoe, they put themselves in an overlap situation and didn't catch it, giving Wenatchee the easy 20th point.
A mental error, and Octavio Medina visibly not happy with that, but can't argue. Miles now to Sorella. She's going for the back line, and she misses it by 4 feet. And it is now 21-11. Wow.
Yeah, we have not seen North Creek rattled like this. Their coach is going to call a timeout and try and settle things down as we go get a word from one of our sponsors.
We are back at the Yakima Valley Sundome for the 4A state championship, tied 1 set apiece. And here in set 3, Wenatchee really coming alive. They have a 10-point lead, just ripping this one open.
Yeah. I think after those first 2 games, this much of a lead is pretty surprising, honestly, but just keep a couple of real nice runs, and all of a sudden North Creek looks up and find themselves really in a hole.
Jo Berry with the serve. Greaser going to Sorella, close to the net. Sorella just misses that outside corner. That one was close where I saw. It could have been either way. Inches, but the line judge right in front. And again, thank you to all of our officials crew. A lot of them, much like us, this is day 6 of doing state tournaments starting Wednesday last week. From the middle, North Creek sides out. That one is Elisa Hakala creating the momentum. Now Sorella back to serve.
Sorella's going to see if she can use the serve to lift her team out of this hole right here.
And that one out of bounds, just far. And Sorella, that's such a tough pill to swallow, too,
Yeah.
within inches of the line.
And like you were talking about, I mean, she's really honestly serving at shoulder height of that back row, trying to force the Wenatchee players to do a real ugly mishandle on that first touch. And instead, the Wenatchee players just opened their shoulders and let the ball slide by them. And it was only out by 3 or 4 inches.
Great vision and decisions by Wenatchee. The freshman serving backside.
Ooh.
Joe Barry getting the dig. Dandridge. And that one, the block is not sealed. And Wenatchee, you know who has the point, not only by looking at the referees, but by listening to the fans.
Absolutely. And keep in mind, that was the backup set because that dig was by Wenatchee's setter.
So set point, 24-12. Greaser going to the outside, Moran. Little barrel with the up, Joe Barry, back set to Dandridge. And to Dandridge, and she goes down the line for the kill as that brings set number 3 to an end. Our score, 25-12, domination by the Wenatchee Panthers.
Absolutely. They came alive there, and so did their crowd, almost like they were feeding on each other, honestly building that up until really this was kind of all Wenatchee when you really look back at game 3.
So set number 3 belonging to Wenatchee as the Panthers take a 2-1 set lead over the North Creek Jaguars. Best of 5 action from set number 4. When we come back, you're watching the 4A State Volleyball Championships right here on NFHS.
Thorbeck's Wellness Centers in Centralia, Chehalis, and South Bend is the place to go when you think health and wellness. Of course, only top-of-the-line free weights, machines, and cardio, but also specialized programs. There are more than 50 group fitness programs, all free with your regular membership. Programs like Les Mills Body Pump, Body Combat, and virtual programs, as well as yoga, hot yoga, or senior-only programs like Silver Sneakers or Water Aerobics. For all the details, go to Thorbeck's.com.
We love our hometown teams. With unprecedented plays, nail-biting moments, and intense atmosphere, local athletes bring the community together. To honor these athletes, Eli Sports will be naming a Taking It to the House play of the game. Stay tuned after the broadcast to see who takes it home.
Athletes, the time is now to get serious about improving yourself to reach your goals. We all know that college recruiters and professional scouts put a lot of importance on those tangible measurements, such as a 40 time, your vertical leap, cone drills, and so on. Proactive Physical Therapy in Tumwater has a special, unique training program that will improve your results across the board. If you are serious about raising your performance to the next level, you need to talk with the pros today at Proactive Physical Therapy. Check them out online or call for an appointment today.
There are many ways for businesses to expand their customer base, but one of the tried and true ways of increasing customer loyalty and recognizing employees is to put your name and logo on promotional and motivational items. You can find a wide selection at Alderson's Awards West in Centralia. Shirts, hats, coats, mugs, pens, and more, all with high-quality screen printing or embroidery done on site. For a full catalog of items at great prices, go to aldersons.net.
Many times, drug addiction and mental health crisis often occur at the same time. It's called co-occurring disorder. American Behavioral Health Systems since 1997.
Back at the Yakima Valley Sun Dome, home to every single state volleyball tournament this year, including the 4A, as it is a state championship between the North Creek Jaguars and the Wenatchee Panthers, as set number 4 about to get underway. For those that maybe wasn't here from the beginning, this one is back and forth as Wenatchee taking set number 1 at 27-25, extra volleyball. North Creek taking set number 2, 25-18. And just when we thought the momentum was shifting, Wenatchee snatched it back, dominating 25-12 in set number 3. So Wenatchee looking to put this one to bed. Meanwhile, North Creek, well, they're not phased. They went 5 sets in their semifinal match.
They certainly have the confidence that this is nowhere near over.
Joe Barry back set to Dandridge. Dandridge stays on her feet. Moran with the up. Sorella punches it over. Joe Barry. Dandridge now, that one close to the net, off the wall, and it always makes me nervous when Joe Barry takes the pass because I'm like, who's going to set?
And clearly when they're playing in system, they know who's going to do that. But yeah, they've let that ball drop a couple times.
So Wenatchee clicking up 1-0 as set number 4 is underway. What a dig by Joe Barry, but unanswered hands as we're tied at 1. Sorella now going back to serve.
Yeah, Wenatchee would really like to put North Creek right on their heels and make them question if they can really battle through this. But North Creek right off the bat, hanging tough.
Dandridge with the pass. Sorella, a low serve. That one out of bounds as the North Creek Jaguars take the lead. Sorella back to serve. Headed to Cal Poly next year. Oh. And an assist from the net as that's an ace. Try to do that one again.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about how that is definitely an omen that makes you feel like the volleyball gods are on your side, at least for a bit here. That ball literally crawled up the tape and then dropped straight down on the Wenatchee side of the net.
Madden Sorella, an ace, and then follow that one just out of bounds as Wenatchee, easy side out, down 1 here in set 4. So making some changes, and the freshman, Claire Demergen, now back to serve for the Panthers, down by 1, 3-2 here in set number 4. And dropping it at the feet of Miles, an ace for Demergen. Last time she got an ace, she missed her next serve, so hopefully those, you kind of see the feelings, and especially as it gets going, but you're in set number 4, Demergen. She knows what to do, a back set. And that one off of Ava Jones off of Joe Barry rather, as Hatchie Kondunich with the kill from the middle. And North Creek go up 1. Hatchie Kondunich now back serving for the Jaguars. To the outside and going down the line. That one a little bit of a broken play, mistimed, but
it ends up working out because the defense also mistimed it. And so Wenatchee gets the slow kill, we'll call that in the stats.
The slow kill, I like it, I like it. So a point is a point, and Wenatchee dropping one at the feet of Sorella. She gets the up. Moran now on the backside, Dandridge tipping that one over. It's back on the Panthers side. Jaguars from the middle, Geller. Dandridge, and down the line, evading the wall to the outside.
And again, that starts because the Wenatchee setter has that dig. She stayed home and let that swing come right to her, having full confidence in the rest of her teammates to put that play together.
Marin Stuber back serving. Miles with the pass. Geller having to save that one. Moran saving it, but Riley Jones says,
Yeah, North Creek out of system there. Both of these coaches are actually calling who and where to serve to their servers. And I think that's maybe why the passing has not been as good for either team, at least as consistently, is because the serving is so tough, and these coaches know right where they want their players to put the ball to give the serve-receive trouble.
And Quincy Moran, the King County Player of the Year, getting the side out for the Jaguars, bringing North Creek now within 1. Greaser back serving, the 6-foot setter. Joe Barry going to the outside, the tip, and a great read, nothing but space behind the wall as Wenatchee now up 2. Dandridge going back to serve. Moran, and Moran again. Dandridge with the dig, trying to preserve her serve. Moran, and we have a violation at the net. It dropped on Wenatchee's side. Either way, that point belonging to the Jaguars, as North Creek is within one, and now the future Eastern Washington Eagle of Quincy Moran back to serve. Joe Barry tracking that one down. Will it make it over the net? It could not be convinced. The volleyball gods not with Wenatchee right now.
Nope, that rolled across the top of the tape and then dropped back on Wenatchee's side. So again, really tough serving here by the Jaguars, but it also looks like the Panthers serve receive. A lot of reaching with their arms instead of taking that extra step right now. And they're looking maybe just a little tired. So they gotta lift those feet up to get the pass. There it is.
Joe Barry, back set. Moran is there. Greaser to Sorella. And a dig by the libero puts it back in the Jaguars' court. Jaguars get it to the Panthers to the outside. And that ball put to bed by Wenatchee. That's Kiera Demergen.
What a swing on the outside against a block that really has been having a lot of success back there. But she swings inside the block for that deep angle and gets nothing but court.
So Kiera Demergen with the kill. And now the future Boise State beach volleyball player. She's a junior serving. Moran with the pass. Greaser going to Sorella. Sorella into the net as Wenatchee up 2.
Anytime you don't have to dig a hit from Sorella makes you feel like it's going your way. She's hitting so hard right now. That one into the net, so Wenatchee gets a freebie, but they're not getting very many of those.
So Wenatchee, both teams tired, but the Panthers feeding off this home energy as registering an ace, Kiera Demergen.
Now whose feet look stuck in the mud, right?
It's so back and forth. I feel like we're saying things, and then all of a sudden, it's the other team. So Kiera Demergen, a 5'8" junior, serving. Sorella with the pass. Greaser getting it to Moran, and Moran, that one close to the net. And Moran beating the wall of the Panthers for the kill. She was hungry for that one.
Yes, she was. It had been a hot minute since she had success and made it happen.
Now Drit with the serve. Ooh. And that one is in. Wenatchee was celebrating.
I was going to say 2 Wenatchee players went to the line and called that out, letting it go. Their coach is really upset with them. If you were close enough to say it was out, you were close enough to play it.
Jordan McGregor, head coach for Wenatchee, as they watch it hit the pavement. And back set, off the wall. Greaser is there. And the other Greaser reaching back. What a great angle with the wrist flick.
Yeah, she used her entire upper body to get topspin on that ball, and it went down hard and fast on the Wenatchee side.
So tied at 10 here in set number 4. Wenatchee up 2-1, and North Creek, that time, they were right.
That's right. That one you can let sail. It's over your head. It's probably okay to let that one go.
Emmy Tucker, second team Big 9 player, back to serve. Tucker straight down the pipe to Moran. Now the middle. Hachi Kadunic getting the side out and the point for North Creek.
2 Wenatchee defenders had a chance to make a play on that ball, and again, it was one of those moments where they both took a step, looked each other in the eye, and then both quit going.
Kiana Miles with the serve, that one far, and it's out the back. Great talking, even from up here.
Yeah,
I heard they said out because Demergen was about to play it, and just the trust that you have rather than I know better.
Right.
Trusting her team. As Ava Jo Barry now serving. Wenatchee up 1. It's set for Sorella getting that angle. Sackman is there. Tucker reining it back in. Free ball over. Here come the Jaguars from the middle. The swing, is there a touch? No touch, as I think she was aiming for the student section on that one.
Maybe she's kind of tired of their chanting and singing. They are getting very coordinated and organized. I know you guys are getting some shots of that at home. They're having a lot of fun with their Wenatchee Panthers in the lead.
Greaser, shot to Hatchie Kadunich. And Hatchie Kadunich, she's not hitting the court right away, but she's putting it in a place that's twice now that the Panthers have gotten a little bit, but ultimately have not been able to return it.
Yeah, she's doing a nice job picking apart the holes in that defense. Well, that one might have been out too, but Wenatchee plays it.
And that one off of the block, out of bounds. So Wenatchee not going to let it land in bounds, take it, and take the point as well.
Nope. Coach would always rather you make a perfect pass than let it drop if you're not 100% sure. But it does seem like North Creek is serving Wenatchee really deep, trying to force their serve receive back.
Well, it makes a big difference when Ava Jo Berry doesn't make that set. So I feel like that's part of their game plan, is maybe aim for her, as Jo Berry with the dig. Dandridge on the backside set off. She got it over with the angle. Now Moran on the backside, cross court, and that is inbounds as North Creek now within one.
Nice angle inside the block. There ought to be a defender sitting off the shoulder of that block, but she found the hole again in the Wenatchee defense. There's more holes in that Wenatchee defense than a lot of other teams have been able to find this season. North Creek getting it done.
Senior on a Hatchie Kadunich with the serve. Jo Berry putting it over. A read from the middle. Geller, great dig in the back row. The tip, and Geller and Greaser are there to put it down on Wenatchee side, and we're tied at 14 here in set number 4.
And that's when that tall block looks like it has the advantage at the net right there. Wenatchee just needed to tip higher and not used to seeing hands up there.
Hatchie Kadunich with the serve once again. Jo Berry going to the outside, getting up. Is there a touch? And there is not, as that one sailed far. And Hatchie Kadunich heading back to the service line once more.
North Creek taking the lead.
15-14. Back set, Dandridge into the block. Into the block again. Moran and Geller not letting that one over the net, and Greaser not letting it over the net either. And finally being able to split the block. Demergen from the outside. Try again. That's what we're talking about. Have the confidence to go back in there.
That's right. And let's talk about the fact that Wenatchee got blocked 3 times in that rally. Their hitter coverage picked the ball up every time with enough control that they were able to launch another play until they finally beat the block. That is really some focus by the Panthers.
Marin Stuber with the serve, and Quincy Moran putting that ball to bed as North Creek will take the lead.
Yeah, she that ball was a little bit tight, but she was able to use her height and her arm swing and got a great angle, swinging almost straight down.
She loves those set so close to the net. She's not afraid, and I think it is her height where she knows that she can beat them there, and there she is on the block.
I was going to say, talk about elevating. She was up in the air, strong with her arms, and put that straight back down.
Sasha Dandridge trying to go from the backside, but Quincy Moran, the player of the year for King Co League and future Eagle, shutting it down. Sorella, and there's a net violation on the Jaguars. Early Christmas for Wenatchee.
That's right. A little help right there as they were on their heels.
Dandridge with the serve. Greaser to the outside to Greaser, and that off the wall, out of bounds, and 2 players going up. It's hard to see who's going to get it, and I think they caught the wall a little bit out of sorts.
Yes, I would agree. Their timing on that block was not really in sync.
So off the block, out of bounds, as North Creek up 2. Jo Berry dumping it, and Moran trying to pull the soccer move, not there in time. And that's changed since I was in high school. Maybe I'm dating myself, but you couldn't kick it, and that has changed. You could kick it in the beach volleyball game, but not in the indoor game.
I think we actually saw that work a couple of times in this state tournament.
We did, even when it wasn't on purpose. And
Right.
Wenatchee coming back with the ace as it is 18-all. Seemed like North Creek had all the momentum up by 2. And now we're tied 18 apiece here in set number 4. As Kiara Dendridge with the serve, Greaser going to Sorella, roll shot. Sackman, and then it goes to the middle. Greaser trying to pull that one off the net, and Moran with the free ball. Joe Barry going to the outside. Sackman trying to push that one deep. Neldred is there, and on the backside, that is a block by Wenatchee, shutting down that angle.
Yeah. There was nowhere for that hitter to go with the ball except to be blocked. So we have a 1-point ball game.
And a timeout from the Jaguars. We're going to take a timeout as well. It's set number 4 here from the Yakima Valley Sundome in the 4A state championships.
Bob, you sure Bears know how to play softball?
Bruce, these Bears know how to do a lot of things. I can barely handle the suspense.
Just watch the game.
She eats at Black Bear Diner.
Good old-fashioned family food, Black Bear Diner.
Back at the Yakima Valley Sundome, action in set 4. Wenatchee up at 2-1. And the 4A state championship on the line. Both the Panthers and Jaguars want to be hoisting that trophy later tonight. So Wenatchee with the 1-point lead. Jaguars coming out of the timeout. Greaser serving Sorella. A great dive, but Sackman not there in time as North Creek getting the side out, coming out of the timeout. Naldrit with the serve. Sackman on the outside, getting inside the block and kissing the inside of the line.
Yeah, not really a great pass by Wenatchee, but that's the beauty of having that kind of setter. She can turn that into a ball that a hitter can earn another kill against a real tough block. Great work by Wenatchee.
Emmy Tucker now with the serve. Wenatchee up 1, 2019. Greaser to Sorella. Sorella above the block and out the back as Wenatchee now with the 2-point lead. Push 4, says head coach Jordan McGregor. And telling her server, Emmy Tucker, where to serve it. They go down the pipe to Moran from the middle. Hatchie Kadunich out, or she gets the touch. So Hatchie Kadunich with the kill as it's back to a 1-point game.
This one has been back and forth. I think maybe a 4-point lead is the largest spread we've had here in game 4.
Senior Kiana Miles with the serve. Aiming for that back line was Stuber, out of bounds, and we're tied at 21. Kiana Miles, a senior, 8 seniors on North Creek, and down 2-1, unfazed, going 5 sets in the semifinals. Sorella served outside into the net, and Wenatchee will take the lead.
Tough to hit the ball when you're backpedaling like that.
Sorella couldn't quite find the angle. Now Ava Jo Berry, the Big 9 player of the year, a 5'7" junior setter with the serve. Greaser now to the middle. Hatchie Kadunich. And Hatchie Kadunich ties it at 22. Sorella, a Mustang with Cal Poly next year, but with the Jaguars, Dendrich off of the block and out of bounds as back and forth. Panthers now with the lead.
Wenatchee with a lot of substitutions in this rotation. Doesn't hurt to have some fresh legs, I suspect.
Claire Demergen now back serving the student section, starting their winning chance.
That might be a little early.
As Moran hitting it. Demergen almost running into the line judge, having to slow her roll. As, like you mentioned, it's a little early, which is exactly why I mentioned it.
Yeah, and Wenatchee here is now actually kind of launching a bit of a protest that the line judge was in the way, and they're asking for a replay. The officials are going to talk that over. And I mean, no disrespect to the Wenatchee crowd. Most of the time when their team has 23 points, they probably do win. But that's not really recognizing the caliber of the volleyball they're watching right now and knowing that these games have been so close. So the teams are huddling up, letting the officials make this decision, as both teams know they're tied up at 23.
Yeah, that's a tough call, because I wish we had replay, because Claire Demergen running after it, she stopped.
Definitely.
She stopped right in her tracks. And was it playable? She doesn't know, because she had to stop, so it didn't even give her the chance to do it.
And honestly, that official didn't even know which way to go to get out of the way, because it was kind of a shanked dig, right? And so I don't think the official was trying to screen her. She was just trying not to get run over. So the official is now talking to the captains, explaining the decision that they have made. And
they're going to call a replay.
It's the replay.
Wow, that's a big turn of events, going from tied at 23 to 23-22. A replay after the line judge blocking Demergen. Demergen on the serve. Greaser going to Morales on the outside, and the Jaguars saying, doesn't phase us, back tied at 23 after the kill from Quincy Moran.
That's right, the ball knows.
Hatchie Kadunich now back serving for North Creek, tied at 23. Whoever gets this point will be at set point. To the outside, Wenatchee out the back. North Creek now at set point, looking to force the game 5.
North Creek may be slightly more motivated here, you're right, as this is a must-win for them.
Meanwhile, Wenatchee looking to force extra volleyball here in set 4. Dendrich, and then the tip, and it ran into the antenna, dead ball, and North Creek forces a set 5, 25-23, our score here in set 4 from the Yakima Valley Sundome.
Well, if you're watching, it's because you love state volleyball and you're getting to watch a lot of it in this championship game. Wow. Both teams battling tough, battling back, and never saying die. We're going to take a break here before we get set for a fast 5th game to 15.
Thorbeck's wellness centers in Centralia and Chehalis are for everyone, including families and kids.
Get your kids out from behind the screen and get them moving. And while you're working out, your kids will have a blast at Thorbeck's Kids Club. Unique birthday parties. How about a pool party? Or if you want to stay dry, an inflatable party at the Bouncy House.
Thorbeck's offers swim lessons, a water slide, batting cages, an athletic training center, gymnastics, tennis, and dance lessons.
For more information, go to Thorbecks.com. The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia.
Spin Tees Screen Print and Graphics in Olympia gives you the very best printing and embroidery, perfect for teams, schools, companies, or special events. Get excellent quality, custom designs, quick turnaround, and low pricing. Count on Spin Tees for quality brands like Port Authority, Sport Tech, and District Threads. For easy ordering and results you'll love, go to spinteeprints.com or check them out on Facebook.
Point S Centralia OK Tire is a proud sponsor of high school sports and wishes all teams good luck during the postseason. With the playoffs starting, that means the weather is changing, and that means tough driving conditions with ice, rain, and snow. Point S Centralia OK Tire invites you to stop by and have your vehicle checked so you're ready for winter driving. Studded snow tires, studless snow tires, and tire chains are in stock and ready to put on whatever you drive, and with a warranty good at over 200 locations. Point S Centralia OK Tire, 1741 Harrison Avenue in Centralia.
And back at the Yakima Valley Sundome, set 5 about to get underway as it's tied up at 2 sets apiece.
We end up here in a game 5 after Wenatchee wins game 1 and game 3. The North Creek Jaguars win game 2 and game 4. We're playing to 15, so buckle up.
Buckle up, Buttercup. We are underway. Sackman from the outside. And that one flies out as Wenatchee drawing first blood in the best to 15 game. Ava Jo Berry going back to serve. So North Creek going 5 sets in their semifinal game. And now going 5 sets. And from the middle, Hatchie Kandunich with the kill, and we're tied at 1.
Not as much room in this game 5 to get yourself dug out of a hole, so you've got to stay in touch.
Sorella with the ace.
Those are nice points to score because you don't spend a lot of energy getting that point on the board.
So Madden Sorella headed to Cal Poly next year with the ace. Serving again, floats it. Dandridge with the pass. Jo Berry to the outside. And that one falls unanswered as Miles, you could hear it from up here.
Yeah.
So tied at 2. Wenatchee siding out. Back to serve. For the Panthers, it's the freshman, Claire Demergen, and Claire Demergen was the one that was serving when the call, that was a replay running into the line judge in set 4. And a free ball over, Greaser putting her hands to her head. She can't believe it.
Yeah, she had her back to the net and really should have had the awareness of where she was on the court to free ball that over a little bit higher, but instead she passes it right into the net. An easy point for Wenatchee.
So Wenatchee up 1. Moran from the outside. Libero is there. Jo Berry to the outside, close to the net. And Moran now from the 10-foot line. She goes down the line to Mergen with the pass. And they go again to the outside. Kira Demergen. Greaser sending it over. Now Dendridge on the backside off the block, but Sorella gets it back in play. Moran, Jo Berry from the middle, read like a book from the Twin Towers of the middle. Moran and Hatchie Kandunich.
What a great rally. So much fun volleyball, but it is the North Creek Jaguars who stayed just a little bit more organized, and they are ultimately able to get the job done with the stuff block.
So tied at 3. Hatchie Kandunich with the serve down the middle to the outside. Demergen, a hard hit. A free ball over by Sorella. Joe Barry setting the middle and into the block, poking it over Dendridge. The tip from Geller. Joe Barry now the low, and the wall can't be set up as Wenatchee sides out.
Wenatchee is passing well enough right now that they're running their offense. That first middle hit was actually the right side hitter coming on an X in front of the setter, and then that was the middle hitter hitting a 31. So a lot of information coming for the blockers in the defense of North Creek right now.
Maren Stuber with that, chasing it back. Can they get it over? Joe Barry hitting with everything she has. It does not make it over the net, and we are tied at 4.
And maybe the best part of that play was that time that line judge sprinted out of the way and let Wenatchee chase that ball down. Lesson learned.
Yeah, looking like the Dolphins head coach when a camera's following
That's
him.
right.
Greaser with the serve. Joe Barry backs it to Dandridge. Dandridge evading the wall, but Sorella is there. Tip from the backside, and that one in bounds. Greaser finding the empty spot on the court.
I don't want to jinx them, but it seems like North Creek's defense is better at picking up the tips than the Wenatchee Panthers pretty consistently in this match.
Greaser with the serve. Joe Barry to the outside. Roll shot. Sorella is there. Back set. Greaser to Greaser, and same shot. The tip landing just beyond the wall.
We'll see if Wenatchee adjusts their defense here, in which case North Creek will probably just start swinging away again really deep. It's so hard. You take away one thing, and the other team is good enough to say, okay, then we'll throw this at you.
And that's why these two are playing in a state championship.
So true.
Dandridge getting it over. Greaser to the outside. Moran down. Joe Barry back set, and it gets caught up in the wall and caught up in the net. A hard-earned point by Wenatchee as they hang in down 1 here in set number 5.
Yeah, I'll bet Ava Jo Barry has got probably 3 times the number of steps anybody else on her team does, as she is having to chase down some of those digs.
Ava Jo Barry, the Big 9 player of the year, just a junior. Greaser, Moran in the back. She gets it over, keeping her feet on the ground. To the outside, in the wall, and out of bounds, and we're tied at 6.
Smart play by the Wenatchee hitter, just using that wall and bouncing it off their arms out of bounds.
Kiara Demergen, a first-team Big 9 player, playing a big role. The overpass, and with the sweep, Riley Jones.
Smart play by the sophomore. Instead of winding up and then ending up in the net, she just lets that ball kind of kiss her hand and redirects it.
Yeah, going to the left side of the court, finding the open space. Dendridge, and the overpass, yeah, she swings away that time. Riley Jones.
I guess she wanted me to know that she could do that too.
Riley Jones doing it all. We're going to keep it right here as we are in set 5. Wenatchee up to 8-6, and let's revisit our keys. Our keys were Wenatchee use home advantage, and they've certainly fed off the home crowd behind them, as well as make North Creek earn points. Well, there's a set 5, so they've obviously done that. North Creek now going 5 sets in both of their matches. And North Creek, don't be content. They beat the number 1 seed going 5 sets in the semifinal, but with 8 seniors, I feel like that's kind of out the window because they have their eyes on the prize.
I would agree. I mean, there's no way that they were satisfied after that. I'm guessing these seniors at the beginning of the season said their goal was this match and probably winning this match, not just being here. So they've got a lot on the line as they come back out from their timeout down 2.
So digging deep, North Creek coming out of the timeout. Dendridge with the serve. Greaser to the middle. Geller. And that's out the back as Wenatchee now up 3.
You start to see the Wenatchee players getting a little looser. Seems like they're having a little fun. We'll see if that energizes them or if they lose focus.
Greaser. Close set to Moran on the far side. The block as Demergen was there just putting fingertips on it, but that was enough.
Yeah, that set really trapped the hitter without many options.
Yeah, Moran trying to get it over the net, but Demergen, they're just putting it back on the Jaguars' court, and that is a 4-point lead. Dandridge with the serve, and that one another block. Moran, she cannot get over the block from the Panthers. Riley Jones.
And the truth is she's not getting a high enough set with enough room to swing, and that's because the setter's not getting a pass, because these serves are tough and they are well placed except for that one.
Well, it's well placed if you're rooting for North Creek,
well,
because
that's true.
They couldn't get anything rolling for them.
Yeah, that was a real gift from Wenatchee, because North Creek was really struggling in that serve receive.
11-7. Quincy Moran back serving. Puts it to the far side. Joe Barry going to the outside off the block, and Sorella saving that point. Back again to the outside. Sorella again, and back to Sorella. The block taking off some of that to the outside. That one is out the back, but there is the touch as Wenatchee, they're on the home stretch here in set number 5, up 5.
Yeah, North Creek complaining that they didn't, but honestly, as many times as they have stuff blocked Wenatchee's outside hitter, I have a hard time believing they didn't touch that.
And especially when you take a look at the height advantage that the Jaguars had, and there are 6 judges on the court, and at least 3 of them were saying touch. The other ones didn't see it and didn't make a call. Backside, Greaser into the net. Wenatchee 2 points away from a state championship, and the Jaguars are going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the action from set number 5. It's championship time. It's the 4A here at the Yakima Valley Sundome.
Hey sports fans, are you ready to make a play for your dream home? With the hometown team by your side, you'll be the MVP of the home buying experience.
We put you in the best position to win. With varsity level experience and excellent client care, you can rest assured knowing that we will coach you to the finish line.
Whatever the case, your needs are as unique as the sports you love. We have you covered with a variety of options to fit your needs.
So don't let the competition leave you in the dust. Get the home court advantage today and contact your hometown team.
It's set 5 of the 4A state championship between Wenatchee and North Creek. The Panthers 2 points away from hoisting that trophy. Jaguars coming out of a timeout. We'll see what they do with it. Greaser and Moran from the back row pushes it over. Ava Jo Berry to the outside across court. That one landing at the 12-foot. Right inside. What a shot from the outside by Bree Sackman.
I got to tell you, you mentioned her before, but I think the senior outside hitter is really the most valuable player for Wenatchee today. She has stepped up against a huge block and hasn't felt defeated when they've gotten the best of her a few times.
And even that time, that is such a tough angle where she dropped it. That one set close. Sorella punching it over. Free ball over in the Jaguars' court. Sorella, she shoves that one into the hands of Riley Jones, and Riley Jones looks up with it in her lap. North Creek siding out, but it is match point.
We've seen Wenatchee get a little bit hyper and celebrate early. Looks like they might have done that a bit on that point. Let's see if they can settle down here and get the job done.
Free ball. Greaser to Sorella, and there is a touch out of bounds, but the touch as North Creek lives to fight another point. Still match point for all the marbles. Who will host this state title trophy?
Yeah, North Creek is absolutely not ready to concede to Wenatchee yet. They've got their own business to settle here today.
8 seniors, including Naldrit, with the serve to the outside. Sackman and Moran keeping it in. Great return from the middle. That will do it as a Riley Jones from the middle, winning it for Wenatchee. The Panthers are your 2023 4A state champions.
And I think they have wanted this for so long. It just takes a minute to sit there and make sure that really happens. All credit to the North Creek Jaguars, who made sure the Wenatchee Panthers absolutely earned this state title, taking them to 5.
And a lot of people watching at home, I wish they could feel the energy, and it's really such a special moment for Wenatchee, and we put in quotes home court advantage. It's not, it's a bit of a drive, but so many people making the trip to witness Wenatchee win this state title. Their final season, just one loss on the season, and that was to Gonzaga Prep. So this team made the adjustments, ultimately winning them the 4A state title.
All right. The teams have had the initial feeling of winning the state title, and now we got to do all the business that actually ends a volleyball match. So the players are thanking the officials and doing their high five line. A lot of respect here.
On both sides. I mean, this was such a hard-fought match, and neither team has anything to hang their heads at. North Creek, to beat the number 1 seed and then take a higher seed than them, Wenatchee, to 5 sets. I mean, what a great season.
Oh, absolutely.
And only now 2 losses by the Jaguars. They lost to Eastlake and then to Wenatchee. So a great season as Wenatchee, though, they earned the win with a 15-9 win in set number 5 as Riley Jones, I mean, she's a sophomore.
Yeah.
What a great memory.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget, they also have a freshman who plays on this team. So, I mean, the next few years for Wenatchee look pretty rich.
Yeah, and they get their Big 9 Player of the Year, the MVP of setter Ava Jo Berry. Of course, we're calling out all these names, and it's Jo Berry that is the one setting them up.
And right now, we want to show you the North Creek Jaguars as they accept the 2nd place trophy. They're getting their official picture taken, but I think the best picture is when they turn around right now and hoist that trophy for the North Creek fans, and their parents get to take this picture.
The Jaguar faithful all the way from Bothell, Washington. I used to live in Bothell, by the way. And North Creek, well-deserved, well-earned. What a great tournament. 8 seniors. And right now we see Quincy Moran.
Oh, yeah, just collapsed into our coach's arms. That's a special moment for them. While Wenatchee is having their own special moment in front of their crowd as they get the confetti and the trophy and the music.
There's the music we've been waiting for. Cue the queen, cue the confetti, as the Wenatchee Panthers are your 2023 4A state champions, beating North Creek in 5 sets. And there's the sign. Earlier you said you don't know if it's sunk in. Well, I think now it's starting to sink in.
I would agree. It takes that little moment, right? And now the dancing isn't out of shock. The dancing out is, yeah, that's my trophy. That's my state champion sign. Somebody get my picture. Somebody get my picture. And don't forget, we've got the 3A state final coming up right after this, and those teams are ready to take the floor and start warming up. There's the shot of Wenatchee. One last moment together with their seniors. This is the last time this team will ever be together in this configuration, and they need some time to let that sink in. Look at them take that trophy over to their fans.
And it's senior Sasha Dandridge that has the honors of presenting the trophy to the student section. Dandridge heading to Central Washington, staying close to home. And then they said, you know what, you have all night to celebrate. Let's get the picture.
That's right. And this is so fun with their crowd in the background, holding up the number 1, tons of purple everywhere. Thanks to the WIAA for making these memories and these moments for these high school athletes. It's really special to be part of.
Memories are made, and whether or not teams hoisted trophies, a lot of hearts were tugged on. I mean, you've been playing with, some of these players have been playing with each other since they were 7 or 8 years old.
Absolutely.
So no matter if they lost in the game that was a loser out, or they're Wenatchee and they're taking home the cake, it's just special moments that are created in high school athletics.
That's so true. And one of the things I like about a tournament that really does this kind of consolation bracket, as much as it means we've been here for a lot of hours, is a lot of teams actually get to go home winning their last match instead of just everybody being loser out. So that's been really fun. I don't think you have to be the state champs to leave this tournament feeling like you had a special moment here in the Sun Dome.
So before we sign off, I do want to recognize the seniors that played their final match for their respective schools here in the state championship for Wenatchee. Janessa Hepton, Bree Sackman, what a great game she had.
Wow.
Jess McIrvin, Sasha Dendridge headed to Central Washington next year. And for the Jaguars, well, there is 8 of them. We have Alyssa Haikala, Sydney Naldrit, Mariah Young, Madden Sorella, Quincy Moran, Kiana Miles, Simone Greaser, and Anna Hachi-Kondunich. So congratulations, seniors, and a great season, and best of luck to the next level.
That's right. We'll be signing off here and be back shortly with the 3A State Championship. Have a great night, volleyball fans.